Graham Watson, Liberal Democrat MEP for the South West. The European Environment Agency publishing its annual bathing water quality report for 2012. 16 beaches across the South West failing to meet European standards. First of all, what do you make of it?
Well, I'm very disappointed. There's been a lot of investment in recent years and we should not still be getting such bad results. The results are actually not quite as good as they were for the year before. Now, that is partly, we are told, because there was a lot more rainfall, and no doubt that will be a contributory factor. But the reality is that only 6 beaches in every 10 in the Southwest were rated as excellent. And since we aim to be the UK's #1 tourist destination, that's not good enough. 4 beaches in 10 that are not excellent quality, that needs to be improved.
As you say, tourism, an important issue for the South West. How much of an impact do you think it has when beaches fail to meet the European standard?
Well, I think it does have an impact because tourists notice this kind of thing. You know, water quality can be observed as well as measured in many cases. And I think people who come down, who swim in water that they find is polluted, are not likely to come back again. Of course there is a variation year on year. There's a variation according to the day when you take the sample because a lot depends on runoff from land. We have a number of very fast flowing rivers, particularly on the south coast. That has an impact. But we ought to be able to be getting better results given the investment that has gone in. And I would call on the water companies to redouble their efforts to make sure that they are doing everything they can to preserve the region's reputation as a first-class tourist destination.
And what kind of things do you think they need to be doing? What kind of action would you like to see taken?
Well, there are often small but important improvements that can be made. In Torbay, for example, there's a beach that is regularly downgraded. It needs some investment there. There's one in North Devon near Linton, for example. There's investment could be made there to make sure that water, as it passes through the systems and is discharged into the sea, is being properly cleaned.
People might be concerned when you say more investment because people in the Southwest might be concerned about their utility bills. Is there necessarily a knock-on impact, do you think?
Oh, there certainly has been, and the reality is that in the Southwest we've been paying far more for our water over recent years because of the cost of doing this. But I look too at the profits that the water companies are making, and those are not small. And perhaps we should have a bit more of a balance between the return to shareholders and the amount of money that is invested in improving water quality. These companies have a statutory duty, and I'm pleased that we have monitoring mechanisms like this at European level that show us when they are failing in that duty.
Just finally, you mentioned the water companies, but are there other people that need to be doing more? Local authorities, for example. Would you like to see more action taken by others as well?
This is something that involves everybody. It involves farmers, it involves local authorities, it involves water companies. We've all got to make an effort and pull together. We've actually seen huge progress in recent years. I mean, if you compare beaches in the Southwest now to beaches in the Southwest 20 or 25 years ago, they are much, much cleaner than they were. That has come as a result of a lot of effort and as a result of paying higher water charges. What I want to see is that last bit of effort made by the water companies so that we don't get reports that say, ah, well, the beaches aren't really as good as they claim. We want to be able to attract as many tourists as possible to the Southwest. We have wonderful beaches, wonderful coastline. Let's make sure that we're at the top every time.